Okay, can you see the screen? Okay, and it should say mate. Does it say mate? Okay, great. What we're going to do here is just talk about mate. Mate is an MVC architecture. And I just want to say that I've been using MVC architectures in Flex for a long time. I started off with Cairngorm, which was the first one, and there wasn't anything else but that, so we used Cairngorm. And it's based on a singleton. And then came pure MVC, which is based. It's just also pretty much cut from that same vine. But then came along Mate, which is actually built specifically for Flex. And so the problem is really hot around 2008, and then some of the work kind of dropped off. You have any idea when that happened? Yeah, why do you think it kind of dropped off? The work on it kind of dropped off at 2008. It's open source, right? So everyone started losing their jobs. Good guys started losing their jobs, and they're all scurrying around just like I did, you know. And so they stopped working on the open source stuff for a while, and now in 2011 you see it's starting to pick up again. But one of the problems with Mate, I want to point out real quick here, is when you go to the site you're going to find lots of great examples, but you're not going to find a whole lot of ActionScript 4, Flex 4, excuse me, you're not going to find a lot of Flex 4 examples. And the reason being, of course, is they kind of, you know, like I said, their work kind of dropped off. And as a result, you know, you got to rewrite everything in terms of Flex 4. And that's what I've been doing over the past few weeks. And in my new position that I'm headed for, they actually want a Mate developer. So we're all good. And I'm suggesting that you take your program and also do it in Mate because it's a great framework. Now, why do we use frameworks? If you've done any Flash programming for a while, you know for small programs, Flash is great. But as soon as you start building up, you get larger, like enterprise applications, you really start having difficulties with data. And so the best way to handle that is using an MVC architecture. Now, have we discussed what MVC stands for? All right, model view controller. I don't have to say anything else because you've got it. But but the model talks to your data, and the view is basically what you see, and then the controller is a control logic in the back that ties everything together. And so we're going to actually be building yours in terms of like that. And so it's going to be very weird because it's going to be different than anything you've done before. Mate is very easy. It's one of the easiest architectures. It's a tag-based architecture, but it is weird at first. And then once you start doing it, it'll make total sense to you. It will centralize everything, and so if you change something, you can only change it in one place, as opposed to creating spaghetti code where you have to go through and change it in all different types of places. So one of the places you want to get started with Mate is to go to the website, mate.afusion. So I'm giving you some homework now, okay? So one of your homework assignments will be go to mate.asfusion.com and just look at the site. And it's a great site. There's lots of stuff on it, okay? All right, then I have this motivational video, by Lively. So you go watch my motivational video on Mate right here, all right, and get all enthusiastic. Actually, what I do, I talk about the mathematics of why Mate works very well. So you should watch that video. And then here's a really good presentation. It's a 360 presentation, and when you go to that website, you'll see it says watch the shorter one. Definitely watch the shorter one. And it will go through Mate and a Mate example. Now, it may not make a lot of sense to you until you've worked through a Mate example, and we're going to actually start looking at one today, all right? And when you've worked through an example, it's going to go, oh yeah, that makes total sense to me, and then you won't have any problems with Mate again. Mate is, like, once again, one of the easiest architectures to learn, and you can also extend it for other cases. So now you can download Mate, and in the zip that I have given you, the fxg file, we're going to bring that in Flash Builder today, and you can actually, the Mate file is there, so you don't have to worry about downloading it. But if you want to download it and all the examples, you just go here and you use Tortoise. Have we used Tortoise before? No, I haven't. I'm holding out on you. I haven't showed you Tortoise. Tortoise is the SVN downloader for Windows. No, it's Windows. Tortoise. It's the best one in the world. You got to use Tortoise. It's great. I have not done my job as a teacher. I'm so ashamed of myself. Okay, so I'll show you how to get started on Tortoise, okay? And then what you want to do is just use the SWIC file and just put that in a folder. And I've given you that already, so it's not a big deal today. And then I just have a few reference things here. Here's a nice little homework assignment for you. And this may be too hard for you, but I want to challenge you a little bit. So Adobe has a little reference here, newsletters, Edge, June 19, 2009, and I want you to see if you can run that. Now, once again, it's Flex 3, so you got to convert it to Flex 4. So you may not be ready to do that yet, but so just look at it and gnaw on it a little bit. But at least read about it, because it has a write-up on what each one of these things do. So I'm really trying to get you up to speed on Mate, and it also, in the same thing, you'll learn how to build Flex elements as well. And here's a nice little write-up in the Flash magazine on the Flex framework in Mate as well. Now, it's spelled M-A-T-E, mate, but it's pronounced Mate, okay? So all I did was basically type in Tortoise SVN. I got the Tortoise Tigris.org site. And here's Tortoise right here. And then all you want to do is go ahead and go to the download page. And click on that. And then just go choose which version you have, 32-bit or 64-bit, all right? On the download now. And did you do that? Now when it downloads, you're not going to see anything, okay? It's just going to go into your system, and then I'm going to show you how to use it, all right? Basically, you're just going to right-click on a folder, and you're going to download the SVN. This is a wonderful tool. It's probably the best of all the SVN downloaders. And if you work with a lot of open source, you'll be using this tool over and over again. What I want you to do first is I actually just want you to copy the SVN number, okay? Here's the Mate site right here. Can you see my screen? And there's a lot of wonderful stuff here. Home, documentation, downloads, examples, extensions, resources, and forums. If you look at examples, there's tons of great examples. Of course, one of the problems is these examples are written in what? Flex 3 and not Flex 4 or Flash Builder. And so what I've had to do over the past week or so is just rewrite all these examples in Flash Builder. And so I'll be sharing this with you as well. And so let's go back to home, and there's documentations. Let's go to downloads. Click on that. And if you just scroll down a little bit, there is an SVN address. See that one right there? SVN? Just copy that into your clipboard, and we're going to actually use that now. So copy that and go back to your desktop. Go back to your desktop, right-click and create a new folder. You can call that folder Mate if you'd like. Okay, you got a folder now? And what you want to do now with that Mate folder, let me drag that out again. Things are moving around on my screen. I'm doing all this with one hand. Is right-click on the folder and see if you get SVN checkout. Okay, so if you had done this correctly, you would get SVN checkout, and you'd click on that, and then what you would do is once the screen pops up is paste in your Google code, all right? And as soon as you do that, you'd hit OK, hit yes, and what it does is it starts downloading all that information from the SVN onto your computer. And so now you'll have all this code, tons of codes and examples to work with Mate. So I'm going to have you I'm going to pass the screen over to you and let you show me what you're doing so I can help you figure this out, all right? So I'm going to click out of this. Now, I've downloaded it, so if I go to Mate, then this has lots of information, but most importantly what I want is I want that SWIC file, which I'm going to be placing inside of my Flex Builder projects, okay?